Welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as BunniPhish on Ravelry, Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon. Today is Thursday, the 25th of April, 2019, and this is episode 38, 39. Grab some sticks and string and come sit with me. How are you guys? I made it back! Yay! I don't remember what day last week I recorded, but I know it was last week, and this week has been pretty good. It has been very busy. I am recording way later than I normally would. I taught a one-on-one class today. My student crocheted a really long time ago, but she was just getting back into it and she didn't know how to read patterns at all. So that is what we focused on today. So I didn't work at the school, even though I normally do on Thursdays. But it was, yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's been a good week. It's been busy. My boyfriend is on vacation, staycation from work, so that kind of throws things off, having a body around and doing things on a different schedule, because even though he works overnight, he's not really a night person. So yeah, it's been different, but fine. Um, you all know what it's like when your significant other is around when normally they're not, and it's just, they're underfoot. It's fine. This is the last week of Handcraft Club. The Tuesday session finished on Tuesday, and today is the very last day until next school year. So it's kind of bittersweet. I do like teaching the kids, but I am also really looking forward to having my time to myself again, especially because Gabriel's already in hockey, but both children are starting soccer this weekend, and it's they split boys and girls up, so they're no longer playing at the same time. So instead of having one 2-hour session of soccer every weekend, I'm going to have two 2-hour sessions of soccer every weekend. Again, it's fine. It's just not what I was expecting when I signed them up for it. So I'll be getting 2 hours back to my week and then giving up 2 hours. So it balances. Okay. Also, hockey, the lessons are twice as long as the regular skate lessons. So I feel very busy right now. Hockey, the first lesson is tonight. He finished his prerequisite skating last week. So yeah, that's my week. It's a good week. It's just a busy week. It always is though. Oh, and since the weather is really nice, we had our first walk, our first park walk yesterday. My sister and I did. It's our first park walk of the year, and that was super awesome. It took us a long time because she kept stopping. And normally I'm the one who stops, but she stopped a lot. So I think it took us almost like 2.5 hours, maybe 2 hours and 40 minutes. And usually it takes us 2 hours to walk the 6-mile track. Whatever. It was fun. It was great. I am looking forward to hanging out at the park a lot and walking that 6-mile track a lot and being at the beach a lot. So yes, I'm not looking forward to the sunshine, but I am looking forward to the outside time. So there's that. Administrative stuff. The chaotic neutral knit along starts on Monday. I am so very excited that people are interested in participating. The pattern is on a slight discount before the knit along starts. So if you haven't grabbed your copy yet, go over and grab it before Monday. And head over to the chatter thread and let me know what you're thinking of using. I'm super excited to see combinations. And yeah, I'm just super excited. I'm super excited about that. I finally got my act together and measured the finished shawl wrap thing. It's a wrap. It's not like a deep shawl. It's 14 inches by 70 inches. So not insignificant. And also you could block it to be wider if you wanted. So yeah, I'm excited. It will be good. It will be good. Are you joining on Monday? Say yes. Say you're joining. Come knit along. It's going to be fun. And that is all my administrative stuff. Maybe I should record later more often. I feel kind of like a little all over the place, but in a good way. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm too all over the place, and then I will definitely make sure to record just in the mornings. I really wanted to go to the park to record today. Actually, like I put everything in my bag, but it's been drizzling on and off all morning, which is why I have this not great lighting situation going on. But hopefully next week I will be able to record. We'll see. Outside, record outside at the park. That is my goal, but of course it's weather dependent, and I am definitely busy in the next several weeks with classes and children and all good things, all things that I am very, very grateful to be busy with. Okay, on to finished objects. I have 3, but I only have 1 to show you. So I'm going to talk about the other 2 first. I finished the socks for my boyfriend's birthday. I didn't finish them by his birthday. I finished the first one the night before and I blocked it. And I was working so hard to try to finish the second one. And I got really very close. I was very, very close to finishing the second one. By very close, I mean I finished half of the sock, which is a lot because they were knee-high socks, and the yarn is Regia for the patterned portion, and then Premier Serenity sock in black for the cuffs, toes, and heels. So my boyfriend wore his 1 birthday sock around all on his birthday, and then I gave him the second one the next day, and I'm pretty sure he's been wearing them straight since Saturday. It's his vacation. He can do what he wants. It's fine. But I don't have them to show you because I think they're on his feet right now. And also, even if they weren't, they'd be quite dirty. Okay, that's not true. I think that I've put them through the wash once already, and he's re-wearing them. That seems accurate because I know that I have another pair of socks that I need to wash since this weekend. So he must have taken them off at some point and put them through the wash. And he was really, really excited that they were long socks. So that's really cool because it's getting warmer here, but it's like that weird spring temperature where it's too warm to wear your really cozy clothes, but it's not warm enough to wear like t-shirts and jeans with sandals. So they turned out really, really well. I used US size 1 needles for all of the Regia knitting and for the cuff of the sock. And then I used US size 0, which is 2.0 millimeter needles for the heels and toes because the Premier Serenity sock is a lighter fingering weight and the Regia is a sport. It was the sport weight Regia. I'm going to talk numbers really quick, so go ahead and get to a stopping point if you are counting. I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, so numbers. I cast on for the cuff 72 stitches because I knew I wanted it to be just below the knee, so it had to go over a runner's calf. So 72 stitches, and then because I was going to a Regia sock that was a sport weight instead of the lighter fingering weight, on that first round, I did a 2x2 ribbing. So in the Regia sock, I decreased 1 stitch in a group of 8. So making 8 down to 7 by doing knit 2, purl 2, knit 2, purl 2 together. And then once I got like 40-ish rounds or something, to where I could decrease for the calf, then I just made it all or I purled, no, I didn't purl. I did knit two, purl two, knit two, knit one, slip, slip, knit, making it a knit four, purl two repeat, which I worked all the way down the leg. And I think I worked the ribbing on the bottom of the foot, not on the bottom of the foot, on the instep of the foot also. And I did the sole in stockinette. And I decreased again after I increased for the heel back up to 30 stitches for the heel, because I went back to the fingering weight, and 30 stitches is how many stitches I usually work a heel over. And then I decreased down to, I think I had 28 stitches on the bottom of the sock and 26 on the top of the sock, I think. So that's how I made it work with the sport weight yarn and the fingering weight yarn. And then I increased the, when I changed to the black yarn for the toe, I increased that first round of adding in the toe color back up to 30 stitches on the top and bottom, and then started decreasing a toe like I normally would. The second finished object that I am not showing you is the purple vanilla socks that I was working on last week. I did finish those during editing, so there was a photo in the podcast when I put it up, but I'll throw up that photo again just so that you can see them in case you blinked for that 5 seconds or whatever. And then the third finished object, I also did not finish by the birthday, but I did finish the day after his birthday. So this is the wolf doll, which was modified from a raccoon doll by Lally Lala. So you can't, I'm wearing black and the doll is black. Okay, so there's this little tail. You can kind of see that. And he is all black, and then I crocheted him a Knights Templar tunic because that was a specific request, and I have to admit that I did not do a stellar job on the tunic. Like, I think that I did a poor job, but my boyfriend thinks he looks great and was super excited when I gave him to him, and he didn't seem disappointed at all, so that's all that matters, right? Modifications to the raccoon pattern I did different ears. I kind of just made up some ears that I was hoping would look wolf-like. Apparently they passed the test enough. And then I changed the tail, and also the raccoon pattern has a bandana, which I didn't make, a face mask, which I didn't make, and it has you do a striping sequence on the body, which obviously I didn't. The yarn that I used is Premier Serenity Sock in black for the body. I used Patton's Croy stripes, no, not stripes, in the rose brown marl for the face and hands, and another portion of it for the ears. This white is Wool-like, which is a loops and threads yarn from Michaels, and this red is some Patton's lace sequins. I think it's an acrylic mohair yarn, and I was using it for the Dreambird, and so I have a lot of it left over, and I didn't want to break into an unopened, unused skein of red yarn for it, so I just used that because that needs to be used up someday, and I don't know how I'm going to use it up. So anyway, yeah, there is the doll. I think the pattern calls for a size D hook for fingering weight yarn. I could be making that up. I used a 2.5 millimeter hook. I think a D is a 2.75 millimeter. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. So I don't know, I'm pretty pleased with him. The recipient is very pleased with him, so that's all that really matters. And you got done almost on time. Okay, birthday weekend is the same thing as birthday, right? Right? It's so close. It's nearly identical. So this is the thing for me about making toys, is that during the whole process, it's like birthing a child. It's like being pregnant and birthing a child. because for me, being pregnant was horrendous. It was like the worst thing. Some people love it. Some people have a great time being pregnant. I hated it the whole time. I was sick a lot. And as someone who has an eating disorder, imagine that. Imagine trying to feed a human when you have issues feeding yourself. That was really awful. And also, Gabriel once made me eat hot dogs, and that is foul. I do not eat hot dogs. I don't have a problem with other people eat hot dogs, but I think they're disgusting. And this one time, Becca was making hot dogs, and I smelled them, and I was like, "Can I have a couple?" And she looked at me, and she's like, "Are you okay? What's wrong with you?" I was like, "The baby. The baby wants some hot dogs. Can you make me two?" And she did, and I ate them, and I was like, simultaneously, this is the most delicious thing ever, and also this is the most disgusting thing ever. That's what making toys is like for me. I'm like, oh, this is really cute, and I'm also like, I hate this. I hate this whole process. And then I finished the toy, and I'm like, oh, but it's so cute and perfect, and I want like 80 bajillion. Nearly identical. Hate the process, love the product. Works in progress. I have a few. You remember how last week I was like, I'm not going to start new things. I'm just going to do the things that I'm working on. Liar. Liar face. Whole face lies. So, oh, I have one more finished object. The Aura pullover by Heidi May out of Karen 1 pound midnight color that I was making for my daughter. Finished that. She's worn it a couple times. She tells me that I failed at, she didn't say failed, but I don't remember what exactly she said, but basically she called me a failure because her sweater doesn't have sleeves. I explained to her that sweater's not supposed to have sleeves, but she's mentioned a few times how her sweater doesn't have sleeves, and that's a problem. Well, it's fine because I finished that sweater and started another sweater for her. Oops. I started the Eloise girl dress. It is an upsized version of the Eloise baby dress that I made for my daughter's teacher's upcoming daughter, impending daughter, the one that she's pregnant with. And I did not get super duper far on it because I started it and then I was like, maybe. I do want to finish it by the end of the month because of the zombie and apocalypse knit along. So I will be working on this and hopefully I'll get it done. I am making, you remember in the baby dress how there were stripes of color in the skirt? I'm not doing that because I want this to be a sweater that she can wear to school as part of her uniform. And I could have done another uniform color for the stripes in the sweater, but I just decided that's not what I wanted to do. So I'm just doing it all in the midnight Karen 1 pound color. And I am on the skirt portion. I think I'm gonna count, pause. I am a quarter of the way through the measure or through the repeat that I'm supposed to do for the smallest size in the pattern. I am using different yarn. I went down a hook size and I'm making the smallest size, which I think is a 4 to 6 for stitch count because I was going to do, I think the largest size for the length of the skirt, but then it was like a skirt that I could have worn. I'm not sure what my gauge issues were, but I decided I would make the smallest size for the skirt, and I think I might have to take out, I'm definitely going to have to take out repeats because I think that I think this is a like 40% of the width I would need to go around my daughter all the way. Maybe 50. No, I'm gonna say 40. And I'm at 25% of the pattern. So it's probably going to be modified because my daughter is really tall and really thin. So this is where I am You do the skirt back and forth like this, and then you pick up and go back and forth along this part for the top. And yeah, it's not super exciting to look at. It's a uniform dress, so it would have been more fun if there were rainbow colors, but I wanted it to be something that she could wear every day without kids being like, you wore that yesterday. You wore that yesterday, because little kids suck sometimes. They really do. They're just, yeah. Kids like to pick on each other. It is a fact. After I finished the vanilla purple socks from last week, I was discussing with Haley possible other socks I could make, like shorty socks, because I have made myself a couple pairs, but I really think that I need a few more handmade shorty socks, because I am finding that I am wearing my commercial shorty socks a ton. Um, it's just too warm to do my job with hand knit socks because it's 2 hours of just walking. So yeah, shorty socks it is. And I finished the purple socks last week. I just dropped my stitch marker. One of my stitch markers. I dropped the other one much earlier. Okay. So I finished the purple socks and had 44 grams or something left, which is plenty of yarn to get a pair of shorty socks for me. So I am making, let me just continue knitting and not showing you. I am making a pair of shorty socks out of Premier Serenity Sock Violas with a black, I'm going to do black for the heels, toes, and cuffs, just to be sure that I'm not going to run out of yarn. I don't think I'm going to run out of yarn, but just to be safe. So I don't actually know how many more rounds I have to go because I'm doing a modified Rose City roller. So I'm working it from the toe up. I'm not doing the detailing on the foot. So I had a stitch marker that I was using to count the rounds, as I do, as I will someday have a tutorial about, but it fell off at some point. So after I'm finished recording, I'm going to have to actually count my rounds and put a stitch marker in, and hope that I didn't go past the point where I need to start gusset increases on this. Maybe I'll switch to my other vanilla sock. So this is the first sock of the pair. Speaking of my other vanilla sock, I am making a pair of socks from Knit Picks Felici. This is the special reserve color Ever After. So my ball of yarn is getting pretty small. And here is the first sock, but I'm going to cut in and do a Afterthought Fish Lips Kiss Heel. Afterthought heels don't fit me very well, but the Fish Lips Kiss Heel fits me pretty well. So I think what I'm going to do is do a Fish Lips Kiss Heel, but maybe do like 2 rounds in, I'm going to use black contrast for the heel. So 2 rounds before I start doing the back and forth for the Fish Lips Kiss Heel. This sock happened because we went last weekend and saw a movie. I don't remember what movie. A superhero movie. Shazam! We saw Shazam. And that was fine. But it was not my type of movie. I was not the target audience. The target audience was definitely kids, like Gabriel's age, which is fine. It's just, I knew that I wasn't going to be into it before we even went. Whatever. The sock that I had been working on was the birthday socks, but I got to the heel right as we got to the theater, and the heel was in black yarn. And while I can do a fish lips kiss heel in the dark, I've done it before, it's not that hard for me. I didn't want to take the chance of doing it in black because, you know, if you make a mistake at the movies, or you think you might make a mistake at the movies, you can kind of hold your project up through the screen and see the light through the stitches, except if you're using black yarn. It doesn't work as well, or it doesn't work at all for me. I couldn't do that. And the only other project that I had, I think I may have carried the crochet with me, the wolf doll, maybe. But I also had this vanilla sock, but I literally had the cast on and one round. So I'm pretty sure I have a picture of what I did in the theater. It was pretty good. Along the way, you can kind of see there's a weird like divot right there. That's because I had to decrease out 2 stitches in the movie instead of dropping a stitch, which is my normal issue, and then having to do a yarn over and then pick it up when I leave the theater. Instead of that being my normal issue, or instead of my normal issue, I somehow added 2 stitches during the movie. I don't care. These are for me, they're going on my feet, and my feet are not that particular. So I just had to decrease out 2 stitches. So one here and one here. That's all that is. That's the first. So here is the second sock. And I did do a teeny bit of yarn management to get them to match up stripe-wise. I think they're like 20 stitches off or something. And normally I don't care about the stripes matching, but I'll show you where I attached the yarn. It's 2 rounds, 3 rounds, 3 rounds into the cuff. And I felt like if my socks were only 3 rounds off, I would be really annoyed because that's so close to matching. So the I don't know if you can tell, kind of. Maybe you can tell better in this big stripe. Okay, so there's a purple stripe and then a pinky purple stripe. And on the first sock, I started in the purple and went about 3 rounds and then into the pinky purple. And then the toe ends, you won't be able to see it. I don't know why I'm trying to show you things that you can't see. There's like the Kitchener is half in the pinky purple. It just barely starts in the pinky purple. So the outside of my ball has that purple color on it. So I just started from the outside of the ball because I was working from the inside. Started from the outside, did 3 rounds in the purple, and then attached the pinky purple and went with it. And so they're pretty close. If the stripes are like way different, it doesn't bother me, but if they're so close that it just looks like you were lazy, then I would be like, well, that just looks lazy. So I knew it would bother me, which is why I decided to go ahead and fix that. I am planning to put my heel in kind of in the middle of this green stripe. So that will be a snip project, but not until I finish doing this sock because I need this needle in order to put in heels. So that's what, 3 projects that you've seen so far, which I want to finish by the end of the month for the knit along. But wait, there is more. I'm sure that those of you who really pay attention to podcasters' projects, I'm not one of those people. I watch so many podcasters that I don't remember necessarily what someone's working on from week to week, but some people do. You will have noticed that I haven't talked about the uphill downhill socks yet, but I've been working on them. This is the second sock. The first sock is not finished, but it is close to finished. So here's the second sock, and it is barely started. The heel is in Patton's Croy FX in the Cascade colorway, and then the body is in this, which is the Cadet colorway. So they are similar-ish colors. They're in the same like tones family. One is a blue and one is greens, browns, and blue. So that's the Cascade color. And I'm doing contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs as specified in the pattern. It's a cuff down pattern, obviously. The pattern is by Lisa K. Ross. My two vanilla socks are knit on US size zeros because they're thinner sock weight yarns, and then this sock is a thicker sock weight yarn, so it is knit on a size 1. And it looks bunched up here because I have the needles actually like poked into the yarn so they won't go anywhere. Part of the reason why I decided to go with contrasting heels, toes, and cuffs is because I am making a US size 10 man sock, and I wanted to do a fairly substantial leg. So I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough of the Patton's Croy Cadet color to get the length I wanted and also finish the sock. And I don't think I would have. I haven't weighed this, but I don't think that that is enough for the cuff, heel, and toe that I would have wanted to do. So this is what's left of the first Cadet colorway. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. The pattern spirals in opposite directions on the legs, which is why I decided to do all of this leg before I started that leg, because I didn't want to be switching back and forth between legs and then get confused about what I was doing and have to think back. That did happen actually at the top of this sock, but that's fine because I also had that problem at the top of this sock. I started making the left sock and then for some reason just switched to the right sock pattern. I don't know why. That's just what my brain did because I started the pattern and I was like, oh, this is easy. I don't need to reference. And then I got, I don't know, probably 3 inches in and realized that I messed up right at the top. I was like, you know what? The recipient won't notice. I'll call it a design feature. And then I ended up doing the same thing on the second sock on accident. So it's fine. Now they're the same. I'm pretty excited about this sock. So I think I can finish these 3 pairs of socks and the sweater and this other project that I started by the end of the month and still finish spinning some stuff for my shawl, right? Because I have all the time in the world, my wrap. I don't know where I think I'm going to get all of this time. I guess on the soccer field tomorrow. On Saturday, I mean. Yeah. I guess that's gonna be where I get my time. So I also started a new project. I was going to start this because I wasn't working on anything with yarn from the local yarn shop that I was interested in working on. I have 2 UFOs, but I don't think I'm going to finish them until after the ZK happens, or we'll take a little detour. I am planning to take one of the projects to finish at the ZK, maybe both of the projects. It's the Zipper Laxcon socks, which I'm definitely taking, and maybe the tripartite sweater, maybe, because that would be really good social knitting since it's the reason why I'm not working on it is because it's boring. But neither of those things would count for the ZK knit along, which I am a super competitive person. I guess not super competitive, but I'm pretty competitive. So I don't want to be spending my time on projects that won't count toward the knit along, because the knit along is 6 months long and then I have the whole rest of the year to work on UFOs and things. So that's my plan. Anyway, last week my sister and I went to the yarn store and she We hadn't been in several months. I think we stopped by maybe once in January, but there were just so many snow days and then life things, and we didn't get there. So last week we went. And then yesterday we didn't go because we went for a walk and my sister kept stopping, so it took too long. And we could have gone to knitting, but then she didn't really want to, so we didn't go. But I brought the yarn to start a project, and the yarn that we had picked up last week. And then we didn't start it, or we didn't go, so I didn't get it wound. But then I felt like it was a thing that I was planning to cast on, so I had to cast it on, and it'll count for the knit along. And if I finish it by the end of the month, it'll count for bonus points. So I'm really gonna try. I'm really, really gonna try to finish these 3 socks, the sweater, and this new cast on, even though I wasn't gonna cast on new things. This is going to be the trough poncho cowl thing. It's my design. I designed it a long time ago, and it starts out with a like shawl shaping triangle for the front part, and then I have just barely started the part where it's in the round. So you attach it in the round, and then it alternates sections of stockinette and garter stitch. And the garter stitch sections are short row sections, so there's no purling on this. This is for my niece. My sister was like, oh, you should make your niece something out of this yarn. And it was like a bluish color, but it was not a washable thing. And we both know that whatever I make for my niece is going to somehow end up in the washing machine. So I saw this Cascade Wave pretty close to it because my sister was picking out fingering weight yarn. And like I pointed to it and she just grabbed 2 skeins and I didn't really look at it. Well, these are not even the same color. They're not. I know they kind of look it on camera. I'll put in a picture. They're not the same color. So I was kind of thinking at first in the pattern for trough, you alternate color A and color B. So one color is the garter sections, one color is the stockinette sections. So I was like, okay, I'll alternate colors. But then the more that I looked at these, the more they kind of looked like a gradient. So I'm just going to use the first ball and then attach the second ball and work it like a sort of gradient. It's not a perfect color transition, but it will be close enough, I think. There is a center section of this cake that looks a lot like this section that I'm working right here in the yarn. So I think once I get to the part where this outer color starts transitioning to a lighter color, I'm going to break the yarn, attach the center, work the part that looks the same as this outer yarn, and then reattach to the outside of the cake and continue on until I finish the yarn. So there's going to be a little bit of yarn management, but that doesn't bother me. I'm not bothered by managing my yarn, obviously. My last work in progress is the Zanie Crafts fiber that I'm spinning to use in my my version of the Mystery Knit Along shawl. So this is ply 1. This is what I was working on last week. I can't remember if it was Instagram or here where I was talking about how I wasn't going to spin that entire first half. I think it was here though. So I got to where the spindle got kind of heavy and wanted to be wound off and took care of that. So this is ply 1, and this is the ply that is really long color runs. Ply 2 is the shortest color runs, and you can see that fiber in ply 2. I was definitely talking about that last week. So this was 16 grams of fiber that I I had split up, so I had the first half of the fiber because I just split it right down the center. And that's what this ply is spinning off of that braid for the first half. And then I split the second half into 4 chunks. Well, I picked the biggest chunk and split it into 3 for this ply. And now I am working on the final ply, which is 15 grams, I think. So it's the like mid-range of color runs. And the bag that I'm using for holding that fiber as I'm spinning is this spinning bag, which should actually have the silkier side on the inside for the spinning purposes. Jerry made this for me, and I use it all the time when I'm spinning. But, you know, I have to be spinning. I do also use it when I'm not spinning to carry around other projects, but I super like it. Obviously, I like these little knot bag styles, using 2 of them, because I took this spinning project and I took the vanilla fleechy sock to our park walk. So my plan is to finish this. My hope is to finish this by the end of the day Saturday. I was hoping to have it finished yesterday so that I could start on the final spin for the shawl. I don't think that's realistic, especially with all the other things that I want to finish. Well, obviously that's not realistic, but like I think that Saturday is now a realistic goal for this fiber, and that will give me all of Sunday to spin hopefully enough to get through the first clue on Monday. If I don't think it's going to be enough just looking at it, then I will just start my own knit along a little bit late. It's fine, it's my knit along. I can do what I want. If I start on the same day as everybody else, I will start doing daily vlogging on April 29th, but if not, I will start vlogging on May 1st and just catch people up there with what's going on. I think that is everything today. You guys, I'm feeling a little guilty about not catching you up on my modular projects and also not working on the reading blanket. I did 5 squares, so I did the first 5 books. I think that I'm going to set that off, the book blanket making, until, again, this knit along is over. And then I'm just gonna write, or knit, not knit, words. I'm gonna not say words, apparently. I am going to crochet that blanket, you know, starting in June when it's, you know, super hot. Whatever. It's just granny squares, so that's not really that hot, and granny squares are super portable. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. And then sometime in June or July, I will record about the books that I've been reading. I will record about the squares, and then after that point, I will just keep up with the squares on a weekly basis, is my thoughts. You know, since we're talking about June and July, we will do all the small things again this summer. It will start the 3rd week of June because that's when school is out for summer, and then it will end on Labor Day weekend. And because then kids go back to school right after that. So for the whole summer, all the small things is happening again, which is my favorite knit along that I do. At this point, it's my favorite historically. I also like Finisher Frog, which will again be happening in November and December. And I am also kind of thinking about doing a handmade ornament swap this year. Would anybody be interested in that? I just think that would be so fun because I want handmade ornaments for my dream 4-foot Christmas tree that I don't actually own yet, but someday I would like a 4-foot Christmas tree that only has handmade ornaments on it. This is not a new thing that I'm talking about. I've wanted this for a while. So I have a confession. It's not a really big confession, but once upon a time, like 5 years ago, I followed several crafty blogs and I had them email me every time they posted, right? That's a totally normal thing. Except I never read those blogs. I didn't like keep up with them. I just subscribed to them and they have been sitting in my Gmail account for forever. And I have been going through, I was really good about, Gmail had an update a long-ish time ago where they broke up your email into 4 categories. So I'm really good at personal email, keeping that really super clean. I went through that. I culled that like right after I organized the email, and then I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough going through backlog. So I have this huge backlog of crafty blogs that I have been slowly reading through. Whenever I check my Gmail, not every single time, but generally speaking, I check my email and then I just click over to, I think it's the social tab is where I have all the blogs and stuff. Click over there and then I read a post or two, or sometimes I'll get really into it and read, like 10 and pin the ones that I want to keep and delete them delete them all out of my email so that they're not just sitting there taking up e-space. Also, I've been watching a ton of Vlogmas because I love Vlogmas. I was speaking before about how I have been spinning during vlog episodes. So what I have been doing is watching a regular podcast episode and then watching a vlog episode of something. And so for the regular episode, I knit or crochet or, do a crafty thing. I think right now I'm pretty much just knitting or crocheting, but I did make some affirmation cards sometime in the past week, which I didn't take pictures of. So I do that during regular knitting podcasts, and then when I watch a vlog, I spin. Why was I talking about this? Am I talking about this because I'm planning on vlogging? Maybe? I don't remember. I don't remember why that tangent started. Sorry. I'm sure there was a point to it. But yes, I will be vlogging. Oh, no. I was past the vlogging part. I remember now. So I've been watching a lot of Vlogmas and people making little tiny hand knit socks, and in the blogs that I've been reading through, I got to the Christmas ornament time period of 1 year and I was like, oh, those are really cute. Oh, those are really cute. And one of the bloggers was part of a handmade ornament swap. So bringing it full circle, I would like to do one of those. And I'm thinking that I would like to organize it in August and then get everybody matched up by September and then have everybody mail out by the end of October because I have some international viewers and I would like to make that an option for them. That way, when US Thanksgiving happens and the Thanksgiving decorations go down, Christmas decorations can go up, including your new handmade ornament. So I'm gonna talk and see what comes of it, as I do. You know how I work out things with you guys. I am thinking that people could opt to of course, do international, or um, why can't I think of what the opposite of international is? Domestic. You can choose which option you want to do. I don't, I am planning to make it just an ornament. Um, if you want to add extra things, cool, but don't necessarily expect other people to send other things. I also want people to be able to sign up to have multiple partners if they want to. If you want to make 10, if we have 10 participants and you want to make 10 ornaments, I will figure out a way to make it work so that you can get 10 ornaments back. I'll figure it out, even if I have to make 9 of them. That's fine. Which is why I want to have it start so early and have like a long-ish work time. And also, I think handmade ornaments are very, very cool in any form. So maybe you want to cross stitch a little square. I also think that making it just one ornament leaves it the possibility of being super affordable for shipping, because if you're making something flat like a little cross stitch square, or crocheting a flat Christmas tree, or knitting a flat snowflake or something, as long as it fits in like a Christmas card, you can just send that with a single stamp in a Christmas card. So I think that makes it really affordable, really fun, which is why I'm also saying it's just an ornament instead of a package. Because I know sometimes I don't join swaps because like there's the main item and then you're supposed to do all of the other things, and that's fine, but then shipping on top of, like a $10 gift limit, well, that's now taken the price up to $20, $22, $25 just to send it. And $10 and a little thing is, doable, but then you make it 25 and sometimes that's not doable. But a postage stamp, so I think that international postage stamps, like to send a letter, is like $1.50. It's less than that, but $1.50. So I could send to anywhere for $1.50, just an ornament. That's what I'm thinking. I'm also thinking that it won't necessarily be a Christmas ornament exchange. I would like to, on the questionnaire, have it open to any, where you can specify what type of ornament you're interested in. Like if you want a Christmas ornament, if you want, a religious Christmas ornament, or a secular Christmas ornament, or a or maybe a Kwanzaa ornament, or a Hanukkah ornament, or just a winter but non-holiday specific ornament. I would like to make that an option. That way people get things that they're actually going to use. Also, I think it's fine if you want to make a 3D ornament and pay the extra shipping. I just want to make it an option where you don't have to. If you want to make a big something and send that to your partner, if you're really feeling it, awesome. And you have the means to do it, for sure. But I know that for, a lot of people in my personal world, holiday times get, a little tight on money because there are presents to buy and food to make. And yeah, I want it to be something that everybody can participate in. Definitely let me know what you think about that. Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you if you heard something that you're like, whoa, 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 this won't work because. I love when people are like, hey, but did you actually think about this? Because no, I didn't actually think about this. It was a little spark in my brain. it was a little spark in my brain, and I came here to talk to you to think about it, because that is how I process things the best, is by talking it out. So if you would be interested in that, let me know below, or in the Ravelry group, or, you know, me somewhere. If you have an idea that is related to that, that you're like, but did you think of this? I would love that also. Um, yeah, that is what I'm thinking. Also, do you think that those dates make sense? Like signing up in August to be able to make in September and October, send out by like the first week of November, so that people get their things by the time they start decorating for winter or Christmas or Hanukkah or Kwanzaa. If you're interested, definitely comment below so that I know that there's interest. And even if you're watching this like in July of 2019, or, you know, August of 2019, I guess, drop a little comment so that I know that there's interest. Because, you know, if nobody wants to do it, then I'm not gonna spend my time making a questionnaire and stuff. But if people are interested, I'm super interested. I hope you had a fantastic week. Tell me about what you were making while you were watching. If you enjoyed the episode, head over to Patreon if you have the means to. Check out the page there. Comment below with any questions, comments, anything you have. Tell me about what you were making down there. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications, especially because I'm going to be doing, you know, like vloggy things, and I try really hard to be on a schedule, but it doesn't always work that way. You guys, I am not good at that outro, but let me tell you, I'm super excited about this whole vlogging thing that's about to happen, because my children desperately want to be YouTubers. They desperately want to be YouTubers, but I told them no until first I said 18, and then last week I slipped and said 13, but hopefully they'll forget that I said 13, and they can be YouTubers when they're 18. But I mentioned that I might be vlogging soon because my daughter was like, I want to start a vlog. And I was like, not yet. But I'll be vlogging in May. And she was like, oh, can I be in your vlog? You guys, she has that outro, the like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 all that stuff. She has it so perfect. I'm going to have her do the outro for at least one day of my May vlogs. It's so cute, and she's so perfect because she so wants to be a YouTuber. I'm looking forward to that. All right, so I will either see you next Monday for a vlog, or next Wednesday for a vlog, or whenever I record the next podcast, which is probably going to be the second half of next week. Maybe on Wednesday. Maybe there will be 2 videos on Wednesday. Who knows? I don't know. I can't see the future. I don't think I would want to, even if I could. So, yes. I hope you made something fantastic with your 6 and string, and I will see you next week. Bye!